I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. I got a news story for you guys from the Hill about former GOP officials are proposing a carbon tax. A team of Republican former high-ranking government officials is pitching the GOP on a carbon tax. The group, which includes people such as former Secretary of State James Baker, former Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson, former Secretary of State George Shultz, rolled out their plan Wednesday and are meeting with Trump White House officials on the proposal. They're pitching the idea as a repeal and replace plan, like what the GOP is attempting to do with Obamacare. The group of establishment Republicans, which calls itself the Climate Leadership Council, is urging President Trump and Congress to institute a carbon tax, simultaneously remove nearly all of former President Barack Obama's climate change regulations, such as a Clean Power Plan. Trump and the GOP plan to repeal those regulations anyway, though they do not intend to replace them with other climate policies. So we got to be nuanced because we're progressives and we can understand that sometimes people come up with a plan that's some of it's good and some of it's just shit. And this is one of them, because carbon tax is good because we really need to limit the some industries and even individuals too from producing and emitting as much carbon as we can, because just emitting a bunch of carbon is harmful for the environment and it's also harmful for our health. So this is a really important thing to make sure we protect each other, protect the environment, so the environment could stay at a sustainable way so we could live, us and the environment, we could all just go forward into the future in nice harmony. But of course they want to say, oh well, all the plans that Barack Obama did, that's all crap. So of course that's just egregious, and we really need to say no, we're not doing stupid shit like that. All right, let's keep going. All right, Trump and the GOP plan to repeal those regulations anyway, though they do not intend to replace them with other climate policies. Proposal got a boost from Mitt Romney, but who gives a shit about what he says? Okay, but while a carbon tax has long gotten strong support from economists and Democrats, it has rarely gotten very far among Republican policymakers. Trump made it clear on the campaign trail that he never intends to support a carbon tax. House Republicans last year passed a non-binding resolution to denounce the idea. Nonetheless, the group of elder GOP statesmen think that their policy arguments can get traction. For too long, we Republicans and conservatives haven't occupied a real place at the table during the debate about global climate change, Baker, who led state under former President George H.W. Bush, told reporters Wednesday. Instead, we intend to dispute the fact of climate change, and particularly the extent to which man is responsible for any changes in the Earth's climate. So, of course, they want to be hypocritical motherfuckers and say, oh, well, you know, climate change is not a problem. Carbon emissions isn't a big deal at all. But now that they're not in office, oh, now it's a problem. They want to try and pretend that they want to actually help the people. Say, oh, well, let's provide some solutions for some of the problems with the government and with the environment and society is, you know, we emit too many carbon emissions, you know, such items like this. So this is really not good when, you know, politicians do this sort of shit, and that's why we need to like good politicians, so they're not going to say, oh, let's support, you know, this shitty policy or go against the good policy because of politics, or mostly because they're getting paid by the oil industry, let's be honest. But now that they're not getting paid, maybe they're not getting paid by the oil industry, oh, they can say, oh, well, a carbon tax would be okay. So, of course, this is not good. Especially since they probably could have passed a carbon tax when they were in office with the Democrats. But, no, of course, now they want to try to talk about a carbon tax. Okay, he framed the carbon tax as an insurance policy that even climate skeptics can get behind. That's another thing, is the Democrats are weak as hell, because they need to have been hammering the Republicans, saying these motherfuckers want to deny fucking facts about all the shit that's been going on with the environment. This is just not shit that we just found out yesterday. We've been gathering data for decades, and we've seen all the horrible ramifications that's been going on for the last few decades, and they still want to deny this shit because they're taking money from the fucking oil industry. So you need to vote these motherfuckers out of here. Let's get some people that are actually going to care about you and care about the environment, because the environment needs to stay healthy so we can stay healthy, because we live in the environment. You can't destroy the environment and just expect to live there. This ain't no fucking video game. This ain't no fucking Fallout 4. We don't live in no damn wasteland. So they didn't hammer them on being fucking bought off idiots that want to deny facts. They also should have hit them on facts. These are the facts that we've gathered for decades, and they deny this shit. They want to talk about, oh, we gotta gather more data. How many more fucking decades do we need? No, we're not waiting more decades just so you and your corporate fucking donors could profit off this shit, while making the problems even worse for the rest of us. We're not doing that fucking shit no more. They didn't hit him like that at all. Of course, then he goes, if we get an insurance policy that is a conservative approach based on a free market, all that bullshit. So whatever reasons they want to give, they're a little for a carbon tax. Maybe they could work with Democrats and say, hey, let's get a bunch of Democrats and some Republicans, and maybe they could push a carbon tax. Of course, there's some problems with it later on, because he does talk about, oh, no one wants to pay extra tax. Well, the problem is that people will pay an extra tax if you give them good services. You give the people quality health care, single payer health care, if you give people better education, if you give them better K-12 schools, if you give people free college tuition, if you give people infrastructure spending so we can actually put people to work, fixing roads, bridges, water systems, that kind of thing, then people will say, you know what, my taxes could go up a little bit and it'll be fine. But the wealthy people, well, the wealthiest 1% are the ones that really need to get hit hard with taxes. So they're the ones that really don't want an extra tax. Yeah, maybe a few, middle class people don't want to pay extra tax. But those wealthy 1%ers, they really don't want to pay extra tax. They're fighting to make sure, and they're buying people off to make sure they don't pay any extra taxes. So that's what he's really saying, is the wealthy 1%, they don't want to pay extra tax. So if any taxes go up, it's going to be on you. It's going to be on you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, not my donors, not the 1%ers, not the corporations, because they're the ones that really need to pay the extra taxes. They need to pay a hell of a lot more tax than they're paying now. Here's another problem he's come up with. It's combining the tax to the carbon dividend, which is a unique and most important feature of this proposal, means that most, indeed about 2/3 of American households, according to a study done by the staff of the Treasury, will receive more carbon dividends than they're paying directly in carbon taxes. So of course that's another part that is really crappy, because the government needs more revenue right now. It doesn't need more taxes being cut. So they just want to issue a tax just to cut taxes and give the money back to the people. No, the government needs that to provide us with good services, because government needs to, of course, I already said we need quite a few services that would be very beneficial to the people. So just giving it back to the people is not going to really help the problems at all. All right, so thanks for watching.